Hi there, and welcome to What's New and Coming Up with Lipedema. Definitely some good things are happening, and it's summer, at least it's summer here, and it's just been beautiful this week. The weather has it's not been too hot or humid, and it's been toasty, summer toasty, the kind where, sitting out on the deck is just fabulous. And I want to welcome you all and say um, thank you for being so supportive of all the things that we've been doing lately. The thing mostly, you've heard me talk about it over the past couple of weeks, is the medical go bag. The feedback we're getting is just fabulous. We're setting up a wait list, and if you did not get in this one, you'll want to get in the next one. Hi, Marilyn. It's good to see you. And but I want to talk about a very delicate topic today. Um, because why? Because we have a fireside chat coming up on July 25th, which is next week, next Saturday. Wow, that's quick. Let me look at the calendar. I think it is next Saturday because tomorrow's the 18th and the following Saturday is the 25th. Yep. So next Saturday. So, what is delicate? Delicate, tender, um, very gentle, which is we are going to be doing a fireside chat on end of life and end of life planning. Now, why would we be doing that? Well, I'll say from a very personal point of view first. Um, as I always say, I'm a storyteller when I introduce myself in any of the webinars that we give. My favorite identity, even I like being a professor too and a researcher. And definitely, I love being someone who is supporting lipedema awareness. But my storyteller, um, so I was very, very sick when I had lymphatic obstruction. I had that's caramia. That's caramia. I had to double check. I had to look at our markings. So, a couple of years ago, very, very, very sick. I mean, very sick. I think I really was on the brink of passing. And I ended up turning it around, not personally. I worked at it. And, oh, hi, Raphaelia. It's so good to have you from my home country, Italy. Oh my God, my favorite place. Anyway, so when I was sick, I gave thought to what I needed to do if I didn't come home from the hospital, because I was in the hospital many times. And I did some prep work. Now I know it wasn't nearly what I would now do. So, here, I'm going to put a link in the chat because what we're doing. Oh, Marilyn's in the hospital. Yeah, definitely come to this. Here it is. You're going to have to get the link in, or you're going to have to screen capture it because it's a Zoom link. And the Zoom link brings you to a registration page. And I'll show you what we're doing. Let me share my screen so you can see this. Yeah, here we go. So we have fireside chats, which are informal, maybe a short presentation, a lot of discussion, a lot of Q&A, a lot of time to share your own from your own experience as well. But this fireside chat is on end of life planning for those of us with lipedema and chronic diseases. Isn't it interesting? I think it fascinates me. My own thinking is what fascinates me. And let me share that I know that at some point I am going to pass from this body, from this life. It's inevitable. It's every one of us at some point in time is going to die. That's how the system is rigged. It's the only way out of this place. And of course, I am so grateful to be here talking with you because when I almost passed a couple of years ago, I thought I was ready. And now that I'm not gone, I'm really glad because I'm having a lovely, blessed life right now. I love where I live. I love my incredible place by the lake. I love that I have the time to write. I've been working on a book that's coming out hopefully by the beginning of the year on lipedema with my colleagues, Siobhan Huggins and Joanna Dudek and Dr. Matthew Carmody. So we've been working on it, and it's wonderful. But it is inevitable. So we are going to start having the conversations. And if you're so moved, join us. So next Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, and we have a guest presenter coming in. Her name is Tiza McGraw. She's a death doula. So she helps people find peaceful paths at the end of life. She's incredibly knowledgeable and compassionate, and she's going to be talking to us, with us, about the whole end of life process. But here are some of the topics we're going to cover: advanced care planning, preparing for future care needs, emotional, spiritual, and legacy planning, and living every moment with dignity and confidence. And so sign up. Here is the link. Let me go back here. There's the link right at the bottom that will get you to the registration page. Hi, Connie. Yeah, we all have lipedema here, or most of us, I think. The Soul Midwives is another name for death doula. Yeah. 1580 Monkey. Yes. Yeah, that is. And I've done some work with some. First of all, I will let you know that I worked in hospice for a number of years. I was a hospice volunteer after my dad died. My dad died a long time ago, 1994. And a couple years after he died, I had an opportunity to start working as a volunteer at the hospice of the North Shore. It was at that time here in the Boston area. And I just jumped at it and worked there because my schedule allowed it. Did a lot of vigil work where I would get called in when someone was in what's called active dying. And their commitment was that nobody would die alone. And so I would go and I would sit, and sometimes I would sit for overnight or a day, or actually two. I learned a lot. And so we will talk about some of this. Oh, thank you, Deborah. Deborah says that she thinks that I would be a good hospice volunteer because I'm very compassionate. I think it's true. And I did. I would, the first thing I would do, one of the things that I found out is the very last thing to go as the body is shutting down and we're making the transition. Like I said, this is very delicate because we're talking about the dying process, and most of us spend our entire lives and don't ever talk about it. So we are turning the way on this one, and just to talk about it. But the first thing I would do is I had this very gentle, lovely music. So whenever I went in to see a patient, the first thing I would do, well, first, because oftentimes I'd be in a hospital or a um, nursing home setting, is turn the lights down, because invariably there would be overhead lights that were so blaring. I would turn the lights down and I would put on music, and automatically, the person, whether they were conscious or not, you could visibly see people relaxing. So our goal with this, so we've been working on the medical go bag, which I think I've said, which is about emergency preparedness. And emergency preparedness for so many of us is getting ready to go to an emergency room. Hold on a minute. But it's more than just what you put in a bag to get ready to take with you. It really is a mindset as to what we take with us in terms of what our condition is, what our needs are, what kind of questions can we get clarity on. So it's been an amazing process. So hold on a minute. Let me. Oh, so Jenny, are you at 1580 Monkey? Usually you come on as Jenny Wright. Hi, Brenda. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. So I'm going to put the link up again. I'm going to put it in the chat so that you can register. Ah, hi, Jenny. I was wondering. Okay. So here is the link that you can register. Oops. Nope, that's Jenny. This is the link. It's a long link, and so you need to have an image of it because it's not something that you can copy and paste. So be sure to take a screenshot of it. And I'm putting it in the chat, so you should be okay with that. So yeah, I'm thinking, because really that's the bottom line. And we are going to be doing uh, a couple of the kind of fireside chats or just intro webinars. And eventually we'll be doing an entire course like we are on medical go bag on end of life planning, all kinds of things that I've been learning as I've been aging. Um, yep, Jenny, there will be an email that will go out. In fact, I think emails have gone out already because we already have a few hundred people registered for the. Usually we make it for tribe, but because this is so relevant, we've opened it up to the entire community. So that's what we're doing. I'm missing Siobhan. She's at a conference. She is working, letting people know about the her what she does with Dave Feldman, which is Own Your Labs, which is how you can get your labs done. New models for healthcare, amazing. And so, anyway, she's at a conference this weekend, and yeah. So, any questions anybody has? I have a few more minutes, and I'm happy to answer a question. Um, I think the one that we've gotten, especially about um, the work we're doing with the medical go bag and the end of life planning, is, you know, that for some it can be a little chaotic, or we're not pushing it. All it is an invitation. Again, a number of us have had some challenges coming so close. And we want to be prepared, and we want to give everyone who wants it an opportunity to prepare. And this is from Jenny. I was always told that to be with someone when they are passing and when we laid the patient out, and she's never forgotten that. Yeah, being with someone in their last stages is a gift. It is absolutely the nicest thing you can do for someone. There's how do I say this? When I was doing the hospice work in the 90s, it's a long time ago now. It's got to be at least 30 years ago. Um, the patients who were dying, each one taught me something in terms of what it is, what it's like to make the transition. One of the things that happened for me in that process is I lost my fear. I still am afraid. I have to be honest. Um, not a, I wouldn't say fearful. It's more like I'm so glad I'm alive. I'm so glad I'm here. I'm so glad that even though I had a bout, and at the time I felt very ready. I said, "Okay, I'm ready." I'm so glad I'm still here. I still have more life kicking in me. So, but when the time is right to be ready, I think that is perhaps the best gift you can give yourself and the ones that love you. So, again, we'll be talking about it next Saturday. I'll be talking about it probably next Friday and inviting people to come join us. And I think on that note, I'm going to say have a wonderful, blessed weekend. I'm so looking forward to having this weekend. Though we have some storm warnings, but I don't mind. I love it here so much that it's okay. So, all right, ladies, and if sometimes there's a gentleman, whoever's here, always welcome, and have a wonderful, wonderful weekend wherever you are.